What is the one inescapable certainty we all share? From the moment we draw our first breath, we live in the shadow of our last. It is the great equalizer, the final destination. We call it death. It is the engine of our deepest fears, the source of our most profound grief, and the silent deadline that gives our lives a sense of frantic urgency. We build legacies, create art, have children, all in a desperate attempt to leave something behind, to echo in the halls of time after our own voice has been silenced. But what if this fundamental truth isn't true at all? What if the single greatest fear that has haunted humanity for millennia is based on a colossal misunderstanding? The men you see here, figures like the controversial Magus Aleister Crowley and the anonymous sages who authored the ancient Hermetic texts, belong to a lineage of seekers who claim to have pierced the veil of ordinary reality. They were masters of a secret, sacred science of the soul, and they came back with a message so radical that it turns our entire understanding of existence on its head. Their message was simple yet profound. You were never truly born, and you will never, ever die. What they proposed wasn't merely a belief. It was a metaphysical insight rooted in universal principles. That death, as we perceive it, is an illusion, a trick of perception. So the question isn't what happens after we die. The real question is, what are we right now that makes death impossible? The answer is the greatest secret the Hermetic masters ever knew. To understand their secret, we first have to understand the prison we live in. It's a prison with invisible walls, built from our own five senses. Our eyes tell us the world is made of solid objects. Our ears tell us that silence is the absence of sound. Our sense of time tells us that life is a straight line, from a beginning point called birth to an end point called death. This is our default reality. It's the materialist view. We are biological machines. We are born, we function for a while, and then we break down, and the lights go out. End of story. But for thousands of years there has been a counter-narrative, whispered in secret schools and written in coded texts. This is the tradition of Hermeticism. Named for the legendary sage Hermes Trismegistus, these masters were the original psychonauts, the explorers of consciousness itself. They taught that the reality perceived by our five senses isn't the full reality. It's just a sliver, a projection of something far greater. And they left behind a key to unlock the prison. This key can be found in their most famous and foundational teaching, the first of the 7 great Hermetic principles: the all is mind, the universe is mental. This isn't just a philosophical platitude. It's the master blueprint. It means that everything you see, touch, and experience, the stars, the planets, your own body, is not fundamentally made of matter. It is made of consciousness. It exists within a single, infinite, universal mind. If this is true, then everything we think we know about life and death is incomplete. And it gives us the first half of the code: why you were never truly born. Imagine an infinite ocean. It is vast, deep, and eternal. This is the all. It is pure, undifferentiated consciousness. Now imagine a single wave rising from the surface of that ocean. The wave has a specific shape, a specific height, a specific location. It appears to be born when it rises. You, your personality, your ego, your body are that wave. Your birth was not the creation of something from nothing. It was the moment the infinite ocean of universal mind chose to express itself in a localized, temporary form. The water of consciousness that makes you you has always existed. It cannot be created or destroyed. The Hermetic masters would say that your true self, your higher consciousness, is the water. Your ego, name, memories, and form are just the wave's temporary appearance. We tend to think our story began the day we were born, but that was just the moment the wave took shape. The substance of you, the awareness, is timeless. This reverses our ordinary thinking. We usually believe we are a body that has consciousness. The Hermetic view is that you are consciousness using a body. You're not the character in the story. You are the author, experiencing the story through that character. If your essence was never created, only focused, then it follows naturally. Let's return to the wave. It rises. It lives. It crashes. To the observer, the wave is gone. It has died. But did the water vanish? No, it simply returned to the ocean. This is the Hermetic view of death, not annihilation, but transformation. Not an ending, but a reabsorption of the individual form back into the cosmic whole. Another Hermetic principle helps us here, the principle of vibration. It says, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. According to this teaching, everything in existence is vibration. The only difference between matter and spirit is the rate of frequency. Life is one frequency band. Death is not the end of vibration, but a change in the dial. A shift of awareness into another plane of existence within the universal mind. This perspective is echoed in the writings of Aleister Crowley. Though not a Hermeticist in the classical sense, he drew heavily from Hermetic, Kabbalistic, and esoteric traditions. His famous phrase, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law," is often misunderstood. At its core lies the concept of true will, the unique purpose your eternal consciousness seeks to express in this life. Your body is the temporary instrument for that will. Death is the moment when the instrument is no longer required, but the musician, the consciousness, remains. You don't cease to be. You simply cease to be here, in this particular form. You are reclaimed by the cosmic ocean. But if death is an illusion, why does it feel so devastating? The answer lies in the ego, the wave that believes it is all there is. The ego has no memory of the ocean. It clings to form, and when that form dissolves, the ego perceives it as annihilation. This is why we fear death. We mistake the avatar for the player. Let's use a modern metaphor. Imagine playing a video game. You become the character. You fight its battles. When the avatar dies, you panic. It feels like you lost. But did the player die? Of course not. The game ended. You took off the headset. You were never truly in the game. Death is that moment, the removal of the headset, the return to the broader awareness that has always been outside the game. Grief is real. The loss of a specific form in the game is real. But the Hermetic wisdom reminds us, the player never dies. They've just logged out of the server. To know you are eternal is to stop identifying with the wave and start recognizing the ocean. This is the essence of the great work, the path of awakening, the art of remembering who and what you really are. We're taught to be fragile sparks racing toward oblivion. But the Hermetic masters say, you are not the spark, you are the fire. Not the wave, but the ocean. You are the dreaming consciousness behind it all. You were never born. Your essence has always been. You will never die. Your form will change, but your being is eternal. This wisdom isn't meant to dismiss life or death. It is meant to liberate, to release us from fear and open us to love, to help us live more deeply, act more bravely, and embrace this life not as a struggle for survival, but as a beautiful, sacred experience of remembering ourselves. Thank you for seeking with us. What do you believe? Is death an illusion? Share your perspective in the comments below. If this exploration of ancient wisdom resonates with the seeker in you, help this knowledge spread by activating the like button. And to continue your journey down the rabbit hole with us, become a part of the Quantum Enigma channel by subscribing. Thank you for watching.